Peace be upon you all and hope you are all doing good. I'm here today again with our sir, our teacher, our senior, Sir Amin Dabo, to elaborate more on matters concerning our society. And today, God willing, we are going to discuss about something of the university, that is, the programs and courses we do offer in the university. Because most students go to university and the programs they offer are not relevant to our today's society. So they end up stuck at home because uh, they have no place because they have no place to like they can't be placed in an industry in the society, and that's a concern that I think if we maybe touch on, we may still enlighten some before they go into university, inshallah. So welcome again.
Thank you so much, Sheikh.
How are you doing?
Wallah, alhamdulillah. And you?
Mashallah. Alhamdulillah.
That's good.
I'm also doing good.
Mashallah.
Sorry for disturbing,
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
Mashallah.
So I don't know, as I aforementioned, university contains many irrelevant courses that always make students stuck at home
Sure,
without having nothing to do.
sure.
So I want us today to enlighten them on what they should go in for and why they should go for it.
Okay. Thank you so much, and good morning to each and every single one looking at
I
us.
forgot to greet you guys, you see.
So, Sheikh, regarding your question, actually, the last time we engaged ourselves, I made it very clear to you that oftentimes to be able to spot or identify an irrelevant course and a relevant one,
Okay,
you should look at the current demands of the industry
okay,
or the world market.
okay,
We are in an industrious age.
okay,
When you flash your mind back, when Americans went through their industrial revolution age, that was when they sat down through their universities and both Ivy League and public universities and said, no, there are some courses we should combine them and make them a general studies.
okay,
That is to your own personal growth, but not related to the industry.
okay,
And down here in the global south, I mean, we Africans,
okay,
we are the third world, or that's what the world says. We are the third world.
okay,
So when you look at our courses we run in our universities, there are a lot that needs to be either phased out or be grouped together as a general studies that students can go into tertiary and read them as a minor
okay,
instead of a major.
okay,
Well, someone also, before I begin even mentioning the relevant and then irrelevant programs, someone might say or disagree with me that courses are relevant or irrelevant depending on the environment.
okay,
And that's right. As I said, the current 21st century, we are in a STEM industry technological age.
okay.
And then oftentimes, time has passed when
What's
we go
STEM?
to.
What's
So
STEM?
that's the
mean?
science, I think technology, engineering, and then mathematics.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
STEM.
STEM,
Science, tech.
engineering, and then maths.
Okay.
So this is what's taking over the world.
Okay.
People are building new technologies,
Okay.
inventing machines.
Okay.
Imagine how, even if I think 3 generation ancestors were to come back today, they'll be shocked because we have the world in our pocket.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the phone.
The phone, yeah.
So it's kind of, so when you look at these things, someone might disagree that no, courses are relevant or irrelevant per our environment, which is absolutely right. But now we're talking about the environment. There are some courses in there that's supposed or that needs to be phased out, either phased out or grouped together as a general studies. And oftentimes, I don't know, in the global south, when you look at the African government or our politicians to some extent, it's more or less like they need the course to be around. That's the only way they can get students in that department.
Okay.
For students to pay fees, for them to subsidize or regulate this money into salary to the lectures. In other words, a tax also to the government and a revenue.
Okay.
So we are looking at it in a business angle. I mean, our government are looking at it in a business angle. And these are some of the things that happens whenever you visit Africa. Here, we have more politicians than we have leaders. So no one sits down to reflect.
Okay.
Where are we at and where do we need to?
They won't think about themselves.
You get me? Because a politician comes to power, he's just thinking about how to make money, how to keep, the money flowing in,
Okay. Okay.
which is good. All government needs revenue. But then, before then, we have to make sure it's a proper channel and more or less regulated.
In a way
So
that it won't affect those under.
those under.
Okay.
And then those paying will also benefit significantly and effectively. A lot of students go to our universities today and read some courses, including the relevant course. But yes, still, they would come out, the relevant course doesn't even shine or even display in their own
What
skills.
about those that are not even relevant?
You get me? And oftentimes, I used to engage students and tell them, look, you can be poor even if you have a degree.
Yeah.
And you can be rich even if you don't have a degree. The difference is skills.
Yeah.
Currently, all our courses are supposed to inure or instill in us skills needed in the requisite 21st century.
Okay.
But nobody talks about it. It's our government that needs to. No one is holding the government accountable. Our education system needs to be reviewed. There are a lot of courses. Yes, as far as we talk over here, they are not relevant. And there are places to you go. That same courses you are thinking are not relevant are relevant somewhere.
Yeah.
So it depends. And as I said earlier, come to Ghana, for instance. Check if I'm to ask you, when someone reads political science,
Okay.
you per your own understanding, and your own normal perception,
Okay.
who does a political science ends up becoming? Which industry employs a political science? Employs
No.
nothing.
Yeah.
You get me? We don't have industries as such.
Yeah.
Meaning, political science is a personal growth. It enhances your thinking.
Okay.
When we say politics, it's a Greek word from a Greek word politikos, meaning a way of relating with your people,
Okay.
or in other words, with your citizens.
Okay.
So a way of relating with people doesn't have an industry.
Okay.
When you are done relating with people, there is no industry needed for you.
Yeah.
You just know how to serve. You get me? You relate well, you enforce peace. There is no industry as such.
Okay.
While political science might not suit relevant to our current state, we need it for our personal growth. The reason why I'm aligning political science to be irrelevant is that most of our colleagues today in tertiary have the entitlement that after tertiary education, the government owes them a job. The society owes them a job.
Okay.
You see a student reading political science, library science, linguistics, African studies, whatever. They are there, uncountable. All these courses, they don't have a specific industry.
Okay.
When you are done, when you go in to read it, where are you going to work? It's for your personal growth.
Yeah.
These are courses that should be grouped in as a general studies in our tertiary institution, or it should be made a minor, something minor.
Okay.
You can do a major in a relevant program and a minor in something like that, because our tertiary institutions are supposed to produce change makers, problem solvers, thinkers, and go-getters.
But the last time, even going to university, for instance, some consider that to be a waste of money, resources. I don't know what you have to say about that, because
Yeah.
there's this Nigerian man that I last watched a video of his talking about students after senior high school should be able to kind of work in the environment. Like for instance, you send your daughter to maybe a senior high school. She goes to senior high school. She says maybe catering. After that 3 years, she's supposed to be able to do something with the skill she has learned.
Yeah.
So the parents, the money to use for tertiary education can be used to help her in establishing herself in society. She can cook, she can produce drinks, she can do all sort of things. So he was saying that going to university sometimes it's kind of like time wasting and resource wasting, like in a way, in a way. So what do you say about that?
Sheikh, regarding what you are trying to quote, or from the man who said this, I do not dispute his assumptions, or let me say contributions.
Okay.
But then I'm saying that when you look at our system of education,
Okay.
it is supposed to enhance us.
Okay.
That's where we begin talking about the gap here. But down there in Africa, we go to high school like a competition. Once we are in SHS3, we are thinking of applying to an awaiting.
Okay. But not
Sometimes
making use of the skills we've learned.
from school,
Okay.
take a gap year, at least a year, delve into your society, delve
Okay.
into the real world.
Okay.
You just came out of high school. Go out there, take up a job,
Okay.
take up friendship,
Okay.
go in the business sector,
Okay.
try something new. Failure is equally a teacher. By the time you close all these 12 months after high school, your mind and brain would have been settled. I want to go to university and do this. Most of them are in tertiary today reading a course they felt is beautiful because their friend
Okay.
is reading. Some are into nursing because the uniform looks beautiful to them.
Snapping.
You get me?
Kind of.
Others are trying to go into law. You ask them what's their vision. They don't even know. They just want to be in that gown and
Definitely,
stuff.
there's a lot in being a
You
lawyer.
get me?
Yeah.
So, Sheikh, what I'm saying is that his claims are right.
Okay.
The same way, not everybody can go even into catering, learning, and succeed.
Yeah.
In life, nothing is promised.
Yeah.
But then, as far as we discuss our academic criteria, we should be able to understand that we owe responsibilities to ourselves, to our nation. Because when we quit our education or give up on our schooling, it's a disservice to this nation, and disservice to humanity, and disservice to the world.
If we
give up on our education or
okay.
quit,
Okay.
there is no alternative for education. The only way is to be educated.
Okay.
But in education, we should understand that there are some courses there for personal growth.
Okay.
Don't go into it and come out thinking someone owes you a job or a government owes you a job. With a political science degree, you cannot stand in front of the government. Sheikh, let me take my country for instance. You go to Nigeria, one of the most populated country in the world, and in Africa, the most populated. A lot of times people say there are no jobs in Nigeria. Yes, even in America, not everybody has a job. But fact check me. It's not true. In Nigeria, most of the times there are no skills. There are a lot of jobs in the oil sector, petroleum industry, and factories. Dangote, the African or the world wealthiest black man, who is a Nigerian, most of his workers in the oil sector, factory, most of them are Indians. Most of them are Pakistanis. These people have the skills.
Okay.
They walk into Nigeria, he employs them, they go into the oil sector, the petroleum sector, and every single other factories he has. They possess the skills. We should understand that no company is going to hire our degree.
No.
They are hiring us.
Yeah.
And by us means skills pays you more.
What do you have for them?
What do you have for them? You go to an interview. Most of our sisters and brothers, I'm telling you this shit today, they go to school, graduate. First class, you see their degree, first class in maybe economics, first class in maybe physician, something. First class in any other related course. Fine. The first class will not go and bring the job. You need to what? They would apply for a job. You'll be shortlisted for an interview. Most of them at the interview, they begin panicking. They can't even communicate effectively. So I'm a company HR. I'm interviewing you. Your certificate is good, but you don't even communicate well. I would doubt. Is this really you in the document? Because the document isn't going to do the work.
Even to maybe chip in here, even most at times the results we nowadays have, some do copy to pass the examination.
Malpractices.
So even now, even to determine a good student, it's even now difficult.
It's difficult, entirely difficult. That's why I'm saying what makes you stand out is a skill.
Okay.
And oftentimes, students should not even go to university, school, or graduate expecting a job for a salary and something like that. Now the world is a strategic world, an industry, technological based world. A lot of our colleagues are online now, cashing out from the media, but they have PhDs. PhDs is not paying them. They ventured into content creation. To create a content demands a skill, an acting skill, a speaking skill, a posture skill, and all these things.
Yeah.
So a salary doesn't kill poverty.
Okay.
It manages it.
Okay.
And it takes a time. Just like, let's say a salary is more or less like a perfume. Perfume manages the body odor. Okay. It doesn't kill it. Okay. After some time, the odor will return back. Okay. But when you delve into the business world, when you take risk, when you go beyond, you get me?
Okay.
These are the critical thinkings our brothers and sisters need to. And these are the thinkings and skills our tertiary education needs to employ. Because we can't be running, a tertiary institution is supposed to produce to the nation
Okay.
service people or citizens who are going to service the nation, who are going to give nothing less than their best. I say, we go a lot of places, they will tell you after school, no work. Most of them will not tell you the actual truth.
But I think sometimes I don't blame the students.
Mm-hmm.
I blame the school. I've been to university before,
Mm-hmm.
and I can say to you that throughout that 3 years in university, I did computer science.
Okay.
What I did was I used to, go for extra classes beyond what I was being
Your
taught in
lectures,
university
sure.
because teacher can use one day to teach you graphic design.
Mm-hmm.
How do you expect me as a newbie to understand what you are teaching?
Mm-hmm.
So even coding, all those stuffs, like the way we are being taught those things,
Sure.
there's no way we can work with that in the job market.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes even I have colleagues who can't even operate the computer, who can't even type you a letter in Microsoft Word. They can, but he has HND degree
Mm-hmm.
in what? Computer
Computer
science.
science.
He can't build a software, even just simple HTML.
Mm-hmm.
He can't even work with that. But he's holding a degree in computer science.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not his fault. He paid to be educated,
Mm-hmm.
but he came to the school and was not taught.
Sheikh, while your submission is accurate, I
Okay.
also have a reservation. As a student, we have a responsibility.
Okay.
I was very happy when you made mention of even you yourself. You went the extra mile
Yeah.
of taking an extra what.
Yeah.
We should understand something that this life, nobody would give us something we are not worthy of.
Okay.
If we don't go for it, then we are not getting it. If we don't think outside the box, what's the responsibility of a teacher? To walk in a class, inspire you, and push you to learn. As to whether you learn or not, at the end of the day, it's your matter, not his.
Okay.
It is only few teachers around the world who take things personal. They love their occupation. So when their students fail, they think they failed.
Yeah.
But we don't have much teachers like that in the system. Yes, computer science is a relevant program. The question is, our government, what's his role? They need to invest.
Okay.
Are they investing? They are not.
Even the computer lab, because we're over 200 students, but the lab contains less than, should I say, 20 or 30 computers. So how do you expect us to, fit into?
You see, that's what I'm saying. And who even stood up among the students and speak up? I said something last time when we met. I don't know
Okay.
whether you can still remember.
Okay.
That people do what you inspect, not what you expect.
Okay.
As students, we should remember first we are citizens, not
Okay.
spectators.
Okay.
You are in a campus. You pay fees. Constitution says the government takes revenue, regulate it. The government is not responsible to ensuring our personal happiness or personal growth, but it is responsible, or the government is responsible for setting an environment where we can take up
Okay.
to build ourselves.
Okay.
Now, as you mentioned, normal classroom and cannot even contain the actual student.
This even reminds me of the SRC of the school
Mhm.
because the whole, even our department alone, our class, for an example, we were over 200 students. Let's say 250 students. Now we each pay SRC dues. I think that was 100 cities. Imagine 100 cities times 250 students.
250.
We have about 200 cities, right?
No, I bet.
250 cities. Is that 2 billion?
Yes,
Yeah.
250,000.
But we're not seeing it being manifested in helping us attaining a good environment for us to educate ourselves. And sometimes these people are the same people who now become our politicians in the future because
So, oftentimes, to even conclude everything in
Okay.
a space, fact check me.
Okay.
You are always going to find the world is in need of teachers,
Okay.
nurses,
Okay.
or health workers,
Okay.
engineers.
Okay.
These places, no matter how the world is filled, still people they are in demand.
Okay.
So we should rather sit back, reflect. What are we going to read in tertiary?
Okay.
At the end of the day, it's going to be about us. And we should rather not be spectators in our own country. The fact that we are students doesn't mean we should be silent in the face of politics.
Okay.
not partisan politics, but politics itself,
Okay.
politics and governance.
Okay.
All what we are discussing today, it all falls back or goes back or boils back to governance. And that's why I said earlier, in Africa, we have politicians more than we have leaders. And we have spectators more than we have citizens. And these are some of the problems we will be facing. So for me, in my humble beginning and humble submission, I'll just say, most of the relevant courses are simply courses that enhance in you a personal skill. You touch a tool, you do the magic. You use your brain, you do the magic. But the irrelevant ones, they leave you anywhere and expose you weak.
Yeah.
It's just about your own personal group. No one comes and say, political science student, come around. What work are you going to do? There are some courses people take 2 weeks to learn now on AI,
Yeah,
on media. Just 2 weeks.
Even that same Nigerian man that I didn't mention of, he said that a time is coming that many of these programs, like being a doctor, being a nurse, they are going to lose value because AI is taking.
It's trying to take over.
Because
Yes.
even preparing a medicine, we have machines that we just enter the what you want and then to prepare the medicine instead of a teacher, a doctor going into the lab, pouring this, pouring that. The machine
Sure.
will just
Sure.
produce that medicine
Sure.
for you.
Yes.
Which means it's taking over
Yes.
this kind of,
And that's where
works.
the STEM comes in. So
Okay.
I'm saying these discoveries,
Okay.
these technologies are equally exposing our other side of weakness. So this is the time we need to review and rethink.
Okay.
So our brothers and sisters should stop thinking about going out there. So there's a simple message I want to pass out there. When you are a student graduating high school, especially, the reason why I'm more interested in the high school, take a time, take a breath, breathe, take a gap year. The awaiting. Yes, it's your own case. You would want to do it fine. But make sure whatever you're going in there to read is a relevant program. Even if it's not relevant, then make sure you're coming from a home that at least can suffice you even with an irrelevant program, so that you build your personal skills, gain an industry-based skill, and understand that the society today and the century today does not hire your degree, but then you yourself. So, Sheikh, this is some of the things I think we should.
We are very grateful for your time and we would like to have another time with you, inshallah. Ta'ala. May Allah bless you.
Amen, Sheikh.
Because, so I think our brother, our teacher have said a lot regarding courses in the university and how we should be careful. If possible, after a senior higher education, just take maybe a year out just to, experience the environment. Maybe that will give you a direction on what to do next in the university. And sometimes people even take that 1 year out and they find a purpose instead of going to school. Because some move to the markets and they find themselves in a business that like enriches them even more than those in the job sector.
Exactly.
So who knows? So you have to try both sides. But in all, it's about what you do or what you present to the environment, to the people. That will show your place in the environment. May Allah bless you all.
Amen.
Please subscribe to our channel for more videos.